The Charm at the Gate. In the quiet village of Umwoke, where the cock-s crow marked the beginning of each day and the church bell echoed in the morning mist, lived a man known as Mr. Molly. A gentle soul with a heart carved from kindness, Mr. Molly was both rich and righteous. He gave to the poor without being asked, visited the sick without being summoned, and fed widows who had no children of their own. He was loved by the people but hated by his own blood. Mr. Molly had two stepbrothers, Okoro and Dyke, and an uncle named Nduka. While he sowed seeds of goodness, they watered theirs with envy and bitterness. They couldn't stand the sight of his success, nor the sound of his name being praised at every village meeting. His generosity, instead of inspiring them, burned their egos like hot coal. To them, Mr. Molly was not a blessing, but a barrier standing in the way of the inheritance and respect they thought they deserved. Driven by hatred, they devised a plan. They would not fight him with fists or lawsuits, no. They would fight him the traditional way, a dark way, a spiritual way. One moonless night, the three of them journeyed deep into the forest to visit a feared native doctor, a man whose very name, Ogudile, sent shivers down the spine of even the bravest warriors. "We want him mad," Okoro said. "Not dead," Dyke added quickly. "Let him walk the streets naked. Let people fear and mock him." Uncle Nduka nodded in silence, clutching a goat by the rope payment for the ritual. Ogudal agreed and gave them a powerful charm. Place this where he must step. Once his foot touches it, his mind will scatter like dry leaves in the wind, the native doctor warned. But remember, no other foot must step on it, or the madness will return to the sender. That night, as fate would have it, Mr. Molly received a phone call. A distant cousin had gone into labor in a hospital in the city. Being the only close relative available, he packed a small bag and left without telling anyone. It was urgent. Before dawn, as usual, his stepbrothers and uncle crept into his compound and carefully placed the charm at the entrance gate. This is the path Mr. Molly walked every morning to attend Mass. Then they left, smiling to themselves, already picturing him running through the village, screaming and pulling his hair. Afternoon came, and they returned curious to witness the chaos they had caused. But all was calm. Birds sang, children played by the stream, and the wind swayed the banana leaves gently. The gate stood open. Confused and annoyed, they pushed it wide and walked in. And then it happened. The moment their feet touched the spot where the charm was placed, a gust of wind whooshed around them like a whirlwind. The earth trembled slightly. Their eyes rolled back, and they began to scream. Okoro tore off his shirt and began to bark like a dog. Dyke climbed the gate and began to crow like a cock. Uncle Nduka fell to the ground, laughing and crying at the same time. Speaking in tongues no one could understand, neighbors rushed out. Children screamed, women covered their mouths in disbelief. Madness. Someone shouted, "Na the charm way dem keep, for Mr. Molly dan catch dem." Another villager said, Word spread like wildfire. That evening, the entire village gathered in front of Mr. Molly's compound, watching as the three men rolled in the sand, foaming at the mouth. Mr. Molly returned 3 days later and was greeted like a king. People knelt to thank him for his kindness, and some even shed tears of joy that he had been saved from the wicked plot. The priest himself came and sprinkled holy water on his compound, declaring it a house of light and divine protection. As for Okoro Dyke and Uncle Nduka, they were taken to 7 different native doctors, but none could cure their madness. It was said that the spirits of justice had claimed their minds as punishment. And so, the story of Mr. Molly and the charm at the gate became legend in Amwok, told around fires, whispered in markets, and taught as a warning. When you dig a pit for the righteous, be careful not to fall into it yourself.